So you had this campaign on Kickstarter, right?
Yes.
Called Sonia Levels Up. Can you explain real quick what that was?
Yeah, so it was just me asking my community to help me out to create stuff. I needed money, essentially. So I met up with these amazing filmmakers, Danny and Rachel, and they were telling me, I've seen their work before. I've seen it, and I was just like, wow, I totally want to work with y'all. What are the logistics? They gave me a number, and I was like, man, I do not have that in my bank account. So then I was like, okay, we got to crowdfund. We got to do this. So that was how it came about. Was Sonia Levels Up was me saying, okay, I want to pay them, but I also need funds to produce my own music. Like I needed a laptop because my laptop had just crapped out on me.
You need the materials to continue to keep making music at a quality level.
Yes.
Outside of that one project, right?
Yes.
You want it to remain consistent afterwards.
Yes. So that's how Sonia Levels Up came about. And Danny and Rachel saw that I really wanted to work with them. And so they helped out with making this beautiful and creative advertisement, which has me like this Super Mario Land jumping around on green screen things.
The Kickstarter video was amazing.
Yeah, it was so good too. I was like, damn, like this shit's tight. Like,
yeah.
I was like, what is like? Just seeing that, like any random person I found that, I'd be like,
I mean, it makes you go like, if they can do this with a Kickstarter video, what would they do with the money?
With the actual video, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what Danny and Rachel said. We want to showcase what we would do. So that's what they did with the video, and I just, acted like the weirdo that I am in it. And there's talking dolphins, so you can actually go to sonialevelsup.com and see it yourself if you want to. And then it got funded. It got overfunded, and man, that was one of the most beautiful things that's ever happened in my life, because it was an all or nothing thing. Like Kickstarter is unlike GoFundMe, where GoFundMe, they'll just give you, if you don't reach your goal, they'll give you what was raised. But Kickstarter is all or nothing.
Or you have to meet that original
or it returns
goal
to everybody.
Yeah.
And
so I was freaking out, and I knew that in my mind it was impossible to not be raised, if that makes sense. Like the work, the little video they did was too outstanding for people not to pay attention. And so it did go viral in the community, and everybody did chip in because they saw the skill and ability that Danny and Rachel had to offer. So I'm very thankful for the community for having that happen. And then that was to raise funds for a particular song called Violent Water. And I had this idea with them. I was like, I should be a mermaid. I should be fighting monsters. I just want to be like the brown little mermaid. Like just doing crazy shit in the ocean. And it happened, and now you can watch that video. It's on the internet world, and I'm trying to get the word out because it's just fantastic work. So
you just literally thought of random stuff for the music video, or was this like tied into like you were just like, I want to do the craziest?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was scripted. I'm pretty sure like you had an idea how you were gonna film the video and what things you were gonna mention, right?
Oh yeah,
because they had to animate it afterwards. And do all that.
So I worked in collaboration with Danny and Rachel. My initial idea was, yes, I should be a mermaid. Like I want to be a mermaid and fighting monsters. Like those were the two like main things. And then Danny and Rachel, with their amazing filmmakers, they wanted to make it a narrative. So we were hashing ideas back and forth, like, oh, should I be saving somebody? Should I be I don't know, is there like ships involved or whatever? So it kind of, the storyline of the video, which I think is really unique because a lot of music videos are just visually like appealing. This one has a storyline that you can go through. It's like watching a movie almost.
Right.
Yeah, and so we were all talking about how like how does it end and how does it begin and what's the middle gonna look like. And Danny Chandia, who is the director of the film or the music video, he was laying out they're like comic strips, a storyboard. Yeah, and then so as the weeks unfolded after the Kickstarter was funded, we would just be like, okay, so we actually don't have the supplies for this, but we can do this, and we want to work with like a clay master and all this blah blah blah, and then I'm able to make costumes, or here we go. So it just unfolded so organically. It wasn't set in stone, but we had a really great idea of what we wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this seemed like a very, very well thought out video. Like when I was watching, I was like, damn, I don't think anyone in this city has done anything like this.
Yeah, it's probably like the best music video I've ever seen out of Vegas. I'm like, man, this shit's so tight.
Dude,
I mean, and also like the visual, whoever did the visual effects for it, like Danny.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, when I seen that clay, now that you say clay, I was like, did they make this? Who made this?
Yeah.
I think I saw the behind the scenes. You guys posted like a behind the scenes either video or photo.
Yes.
And I saw like the actual, set. And I was like, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna continue posting behind the scenes because there's just so much that went on, just behind the camera that was outstanding. So Danny and Rachel are partners in life as well as like in work. So they worked so well together. They live in a tiny trailer and just they utilized the funds in such a great way. They're just outstanding team. And then whatchamacallit, so yeah, the monster was made out of clay and then the tentacles were made out of fabric. Everything, there were like hand painted circles to make the tentacles and all that. The boat that is in the video is actually one of those build-a-boat things that you get on Amazon. And then it had like 500 pieces or something.
Jesus.
It took Rachel a whole week to put that together, and I don't even know how because there's so many intricate pieces, like little wires that you have to glue together.
It didn't come with Amazon, like Amazon installation.
Yeah.
Exporting the installation.
Dude, it's like the IKEA of one of the most intricate things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So like,
I can barely put togetger something from IKEA.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I just
we always have missing parts. Like, oop.
yeah, dude.
Just put those in the drawer.
I feel it. Yeah, and she just put that together. She's like, yeah, this is whatever. Took me a week. Blah blah. She's so humble. They're both so humble, and but they did so much work, and. When they asked me, hey, we kind of need somebody to work on the backdrops of what we're going to key out for green screen. So you'll see me in some behind the scenes, which is all on my Instagram. You'll see me like in front of a blue screen or a green screen. And they keyed that out and they put in these paintings made by this local artist, Matt Murphy, who's actually a graffiti artist. And also, if you've seen on the strip, those people who just really do quick graffiti work and it's like moons and wolves and stuff, but they do it in like 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
Okay. He's a magician.
Yeah, he's like a painting musician dude. And so I've known him for quite some time and I was like, oh my God, he'd be perfect for this. So the way that it was all organic, it was like one of those things. If you need something, I got you. I know exactly who can do this. And then they were like, we need extras. So then I just was like, why don't we just put all my friends in it who've supported me from the start? And you'll see a bunch of ladies who are in the art scene doing some amazing things themselves. And you'll see some young men in there who are sailors who have been just like they're in bands in town or they're doing like amazing acting or whatever. So yeah, it just became this beautiful community effort that Danny Chandia pieced together like a puzzle on visual effects. He uses so many visual effects and everything, and it's just outstanding. I'm very proud, and I want to spread the word so much about it.
Yeah, right. You guys did an amazing job.
How long would you say that it took to put all this together, from the storyboarding to the filming to when the video was actually done?
Okay, so I'll include the Kickstarter on this because we were also talking about storyboard then. So the Kickstarter, so we met up in like September, so talks were starting, and then we didn't really finish until the week before the release, which was April 19th. So that's all the amount of like time it took. But I would say the process would be much quicker if we didn't have to do like the Kickstarter or anything, because that took a month. So September, October, November, December, January, March, April. That was like 7 months of like creating this baby essentially.
Right.
But now that Danny and Rachel know what it takes and stuff, like they would probably do it quicker, but I loved it. I love the whole process and the whole journey, the whole Kickstarter, me going to their trailer, discussing ideas, and
I feel like you should have like done like a behind the scenes, like a documentary style filming of this, because I would have watched it. Like I would have watched, because when you see a project like this, you're like, okay, I wonder how they made it. Kind of like a Game of Thrones episode, right? You watch like the hour-long episode, but then you stick around, or you watch their YouTube channel for like a 30-minute like breakdown of how they filmed the scene.
That's why that claymation still blows my mind.
Dude.
Those claymation movies, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like that shit trips me out.
Yeah, and so it was handmade as well as done in animation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's awesome to see that much handiwork go into something. You know, you don't see a lot of videos that way. And we referenced George Méliès, who's this French silent filmmaker, and if you know the Smashing Pumpkins, they have a video called Tonight Tonight, or a song called Tonight Tonight, which the video is Méliès influenced as well. And so I was like, man, this is like, wouldn't it be awesome if the Smashing Pumpkins saw this video? And it's like kind of a reference to that too, and we use the same inspirations and all that. So yeah.
And they will watch it when we post this on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
What up?
Yeah. So, I wish we did shoot kind of a documentary, but I think we kind of didn't know. We didn't know. We just started taking a bunch of photos. So my idea now, as you say that, is to go ahead and make a website and just have a compilation of all the images and all the videos that we have behind the scenes.
Yep, whatever you have.
Yeah, and then the video itself to, people can go on a certain website or violentwater.com. Maybe I'll just buy that.
Ooh,
and do
that
it.
was tight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it right now.
You know what?
So I'll sell it to you.
There's a lot of startup companies who will have what you would call a roadmap, right? So they'll have a website where they're like, oh, this is our product, this is what it does, this is where it's applicable. But then they have a tab called a roadmap, and then when you click on it, you can see like current day, or let's just say they started in 2017. They would start off, the first dot would be 2017, and then it's just a line that goes all the way to the bottom of the web page, and then there's little lines that bracket out, and then like 2016, 2017, 2018, February, March 2018, and they would have you like a picture with a description. That's what you should do. Where it's like, oh, this is what we did on this day, this is what we did, and just show the process of how long it took.
Dude, that's a great idea. I'll actually try and find out how to do that, because I mean, all the photos are dated on my iPhone and stuff, so I could just put that. Dude, that's a great idea.
I'm telling you, because anybody who would go there, they'll be like, damn. It just makes you gain so much more respect for it, rather than like, oh yeah, they just they just did it in like five weeks and that's it. But they don't really know the magic that went behind it,
and it was magical, dude. It was a magical experience, from the way that it was funded to the way that things kind of went together. It was kind of creepy in some moments to be like, oh my god, this is exactly what we need, and this is the person just contacted me out of the blue. Like there are moments like that throughout the whole process that were just really just magical, that I couldn't believe. And so I felt it was meant to be, and so I want to really showcase how Danny and Rachel just worked so hard to make this happen, man. I just feel so privileged to have worked with them, because I think they're moving to LA, and I'm like, no.
Now you have to drive to LA. Shout out to Danny and Rachel. We'll definitely post the link to the video in the description and all that stuff. So if you guys are watching right now and you're on my video, finish this video and then go watch that one.
We need the views. We need the views.
But we'll definitely link it so people can check it out.